You were taught about ma'at. You were taught about asar as a child. Book of for the preparation and transition. Okay. All right. These are some of the places. I'm just going to go through this. We found it written on papyrus. We found it written on sa bandages. Sa is the Medu Neter word for mummy. Mummy is, I don't know how they came up with that. Sa is the Medu Neter word for what we would call mummy today. The sa bandage again. They actually wrote this book chapters on the bandages of the sa, so that you can carry this knowledge with you into the next life. Though, this is another papyrus. This is carved on the walls. It's carved on the walls in the tombs. In a person's tomb, they would carve chapters of the Paradim Heru on their tomb walls. The most important chapter, or one of the most important chapters in the book, is the judgment chapter. Before one can transcend to the next life, one must go before asar or usir and have one's ib, one's consciousness, balanced or weighed on a scale against the feather, the ostrich feather, which represents ma'at. Your consciousness must be weighed against a feather on Judgment Day. And if the scales balance, you are proclaimed ma'keru, true of voice, and you can continue on the journey to the next stage of life. And here is the scene of the judgment. So there is ma'at, and there is the hati, the heart, or the ib. Sometimes it's actually a picture of the hati, of the heart, and oftentimes it's the picture of the ib. They have the same meaning. One's consciousness. And it's being weighed against the feather of ma'at. And there is another neter, a neter representing the jackal, representing wisdom, learning, knowledge, writing. And he is recording this whole event. He's the scribe, and he's recording the whole event. And then here is the person that's making the transition. This is from the papyrus of Ani, the very papyrus that's in this particular book by Wallich Budge, and his wife. And up here, the Neteru that I just showed you a few minutes ago, now we can kind of see them all. There is Ra, the first one, and there is Atum, the second one, the completeness, and there's Shu, and there's Heteru, and there is Hu and c.i.a. Hu means authoritative utterance, and c.i.a. means perception and vision. So these are the Neteru in the hall of the judgment. So therefore, in order to read this book, you really need to know these principles, these qualities, and then it all begins to make more sense. One of the things here, the scale is balanced. This person moves on. We have never seen a scale from Kemet that was tilted. Never. Now, granted, we haven't dug up all the monuments yet, and we haven't uncovered all the walls in the papyruses yet, but we have such a large number. I'm wondering if all the scales are always balanced, and what would that mean? Maybe that would mean, as Dr. Jacob Carruthers used to like to speculate on this a lot, he said that in this case, in this room, it's about the possibilities. It's about the possibilities of being ma'at, that all life is sacred. All life is sacred. Every human being is sacred. Every human being contributes to the existence of everyone else and everybody else in this existence. And so therefore, when you look at it that way, it is only right to say that every life has the possibility of achieving and being ma'at. And that's why in this room, the scales are balanced. It's scary. Sometimes there's an animal here and we can't move the slide over. Amet, which means eater of the initiate, eater of the person that's making the transition. However, that's scary, but once again, we've never seen the scales not balanced. So it's important to keep in mind. Here's another rendition of that from another papyrus.